Stocks swing between gains and losses with advances and declines nearly balanced. Automobiles and metals are the big drags, even as energy and utilities eke out gains. Reliance Industries pips analyst estimates despite global pressure in the O2C segment on the back of strong growth in the digital and upstream oil verticals. Importantly, the first gigafactory for solar PV modules is expected to go on stream later this year. Analysts stay upbeat on the stock. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls on the World Telecom Standard Assembly to work towards making telecom safe for all. He asked for development of AI standards with respect to the diversity and with the principle of equity. At the Indian Mobile Congress and the WTSA, Reliance Jio Chairman Akash Ambani proposes updating the data center policy to protect Indian data and to offer incentives on power consumption. Bharti Group Chairman Sunil Bharti Mittal also bats for the level playing field with foreign satellite players. While Aditya Birla Group Chairman Kumar Mangaram Birla calls for government support to Vodafone to release India's digital future. Hyundai Motor India raises 8,300 crore rupees from a rush of 225 anchor investors, both foreign and domestic, ahead of its offer to public that opens today. The company tells CNBC-TV18 it expects to grow volumes, market share and profitability with a big capex ahead and an EV push with an electric Creta set for launch later this fiscal. Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18. I'm Vinny Motiwala. And let's take a look at what the market is doing. Not much of an excitement that we're seeing coming in. Looking at the Nifty decline of 0.3% of trade that we're seeing for the Nifty, almost at the day's lowest point, just managing to hold on to the 25,000 mark as of now. Nifty Bank, on the other hand, is still trading with some bit of positive bias that you're seeing for the Nifty Bank. Let's see what the mid and small cap is doing. So Nifty mid cap is a bit under pressure today, 0.2% of decline. Small cap, that's the one that's managing to hold on to decent gains in today's trade. So look at it as of now, holding on to gains of almost 0.4% in trade. Let's look at some of the sectors that are managing to hold on or, that are doing under pressure today. We have the Nifty Auto that's down and out among the top sectoral loser. So yes, that's down almost 1.5%. The Nifty Auto, that's mainly dragged by Bajaj Auto, which will be reporting its numbers tomorrow. M&M is also another one which is under pressure today. Talking about some of the shipbuilder stocks, because that's shining bright, no specific reason, but we're seeing good volumes here. Look at Garden Reach, Mascow Dock, Cochin Shipbuilders, all of them managing to hold on to decent gains in trade. Some of the earnings impact that we're watching out for, Angel One trading with a strong uptick today, 14% uptick approximately there. Gopal Snacks was a bit more under pressure, recovered from the day's lowest point. As of now, Gopal Snacks trading with cuts of 0.6%. It was a soft quarter that came in for Gopal Snacks. Let's watch out for earnings today. We have HDFC Life, HDFC AMC, as well as PVR Inox also is what we're keeping an eye out on. All of them managing to hold on to some bit of a green in today's trade. RK Forgings on the back of a brokerage note from UBS, so keep an eye out on that. As well as we do have Newland Labs also buzzing in trade on the back of a brokerage note from BNK, where they've upgraded the target price to around 20,000 rupees per share. Let's move on and talk about Hyundai Motor that's opened up for subscription today. It's India's largest IPO. And what more are the details for that? Sudarshan is joining in with us. Sudarshan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vinny. So that's correct. So the biggest IPO of Indian market is here, and Hyundai Motor India, for its rupees 28,000 crore IPO, has raised more than rupees 8,300 crore from anchor investors at the upper end of price range of rupees 1865 to 1960 per share. And some of the major anchor investors participated include Government of Singapore, Fidelity, ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, HDFC Trustee Company, SBI Mutual Fund, Vanguard, BlackRock, and others. For public, IPO is open today and will run till October 17, and as of 1 p.m. on the first day of the issue, total subscription stands at 0.1 times, retail at 0.2 times, employees at 0.5 times, and NIs at 0.1 times. Listing of the stock is expected on 22nd of October. This IPO is a fully OFS issue, and through this, promoters are looking to offload 17.5% stake totaling 14.2 crore shares, and following the issue, promoter stake will reduce to 82.5% from current holding of 100%. Now talking about the book details, IPO allocation includes 50% for qualified institutional buyers, 15% for NIs and 35% for retail investors. For employees, company has announced a discount of Rs 186 per share to apply in the IPO. Now shifting to the internals, the earnings per share at the issue price stand at Rs 62.56 with a price to earnings ratio just above 26 times. So where do financials of the company stand in comparison to peers? On revenue front, in FY24, company's revenue was Rs 70,000 crore against Maruti's revenue of 1.41 lakh crore and against M&M's revenue of Rs 1 lakh crore. On margin, it's almost at the similar level to Maruti at 13%, while M&M has been leading the pack at 15%. And the valuation metrics suggest that both Hyundai and Maruti have a FY25 PE of around 26 times, while M&M is slightly higher at 27.4 times. So what do brokerages say on the IPO? Most of the brokerages recommend subscribing to the IPO for long-term gains, noting that while the issue appears fully priced, they anticipate healthy double-digit returns over medium to the long term.
Thank you so much for that, Sudarshan. Surely keeping an eye out on Hyundai Motor, and next week is what we're expecting in terms of the listing. But let's move on. And PM Modi had addressed the Indian Mobile Congress discussing the rapid expansion of the 5G network across the country and the ongoing process towards realizing the vision of Digital India. Communication Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia also took the stage and sharing the updates on the ministry's effort to make 6G a reality for Indians in the near future. Listen in.
2 साल पहले मोबाइल कांग्रेस में ही हमने 5G लॉन्च किया था। आज भारत का करीब-करीब हर जिला 5G सर्विस से जुड़ चुका है। आज भारत दुनिया का दूसरा बड़ा 5G मार्केट बन चुका है और अब हम 6G टेक्नोलॉजी पर भी तेजी से काम कर रहे हैं।
We declare open not one but 2 landmark events for our telecom sector. The illustrious WTSA Assembly, which mind you is also the first time it's being hosted in all of Asia in Bharat Mata, where we will celebrate the power of technology, particularly telecommunications, and the underlying global frameworks and standards. We have amongst us 3,200 delegates from over 160 countries, the highest ever for any WTSA assembly in its history.
And the Indian Mobile Congress 2024 is now underway after being inaugurated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier this morning. The event saw speeches by telecom giants like Reliance Jio's Akash Ambani, Bharti Airtel Sunil Bharti Mittal, as well as Vodafone Idea's Kumar Mangalam Birla, I beg your pardon. And Ashmit is joining me with us to give us those key takeaways from what is happening there. Ashmit, good afternoon.
Well, the captains of the Indian telecom industry speaking at the inaugural session as well. It began first with the Akash Ambani. And importantly, while talking about the journey forward from 4G to 5G to 6G, he made a pitch. He made 2 suggestions in the attendance while the Prime Minister was in attendance. He went on to say that, number one, AI is a technology of the future. It's going to be a huge disruptor. It will bring in huge efficiencies. But to do that, we need a focused approach. We need a mission mode approach as far as AI is concerned. That was the first suggestion that fell from him. The second one was, and this is important, he said that if AI is to develop, we'll see an explosion of data, especially multilingual data, and to support that we need data centers. Data centers need incentives, and that is something that the Prime Minister, that the government should consider, and also batting for Indian data to stay within Indian shores. That was Akash Ambani. Kumar Mangalam Birla followed up. He spoke about how Vodafone Idea is around the corner, that it requires government support, and that it will be a party as far as India's Digital India vision is concerned, and also spoke on a few financial metrics, saying that they've recently closed an 18,000 crore rupee FPO, that investors are backing them, that they've launched a capex cycle of $3.5 billion, and that is an indicator of turning things around. But of course, a big highlight coming in from Sunil Bharti Mittal as well. Importantly, on the issue on ensuring parity between terrestrial networks and satellite communication networks, Jio, importantly, very recently had written to the TRAI that there should be an auction of spectrum to the SATCOM players to ensure parity between terrestrial and SATCOM players. On that key question, Sunil Bharti Mittal came in on the occasion of the IMC saying that he's open to the idea of SATCOM players abiding by the same regulatory regime, having the same license framework, and procuring spectrum through the auction process itself. The only caveat that he added is that should be done for urban markets exclusively. So an important caveat coming in from Sunil Bharti Mittal. Let's listen in to what the captains of the industry actually said at IMC 2024.
AI is absolutely critical for realizing our dream of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. At Jio, we have begun our efforts to bring benefits of AI to every Indian, just as we did with mobile broadband. We are committed to democratizing AI, offering powerful AI models and services to everyone in India at affordable prices. Towards this end, we are laying the groundwork for a national AI infrastructure.
Company's 18,000 crore FPO, marking the largest of its kind in India, was met with overwhelming enthusiasm. It was oversubscribed 7 times overall and an astonishing 19 times amongst institutional investors. The surge in demand culminated in a total bid for approximately 93,500 crores across various investor categories. The fundraise has enabled the company to kickstart again its capex cycle. Vodafone Idea has already announced the next phase of capex detail worth $3.6 billion with 3 global partners, Nokia, Ericsson, and Samsung.
India not only launched the fastest 5G networks in the country, not just in urban areas, but including all the villages and rural areas, and more network rollouts are happening as we speak every day, every month. And within a matter of next 12 to 18 months, again, each and every part of the country will be connected through a very powerful 5G network. Telecom companies around the globe have done a seminal work in connecting the world. They will take the satellite services into the remotest parts of their nations through the USO program and directly through themselves. And those satellite companies who have ambitions to come into urban areas serving elite retail customers just need to take the telecom licenses like everybody else, be bound with the same conditions. They need to buy the spectrum as the telecom companies buy. They need to pay the license fee as the telecom companies do, and also secure the networks like telecom companies do. This is a simple solution which can be done on a global scale, and India can again show the way in this particular regard. Telecom companies around the globe have done a seminal work in connecting the world. They will take the satellite services into the remotest parts of their nations through the USO program and directly through themselves. And those satellite companies who have ambitions to come into urban areas serving elite retail customers just need to take the telecom licenses like everybody else, be bound with the same conditions. They need to buy the spectrum as the telecom companies buy. They need to pay the license fee as the telecom companies do, and also secure the networks like telecom companies do. This is a simple solution which can be done on a global scale, and India can again show the way in this particular regard.
Okay, on that note, let's just slip into a very short break. More updates after the break. Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18. A quick look at a couple of numbers that came in the last few minutes. We have PVR Inox that's reacting to its numbers. Seems like largely in line set of numbers that came in. Some bit of a miss maybe on the margin front. But other than that, yes, numbers are in line with what the CNBC poll was, though revenue has seen a decline. So keeping an eye on that. Bank of Maharashtra also reported its numbers. It jumped up in the green, and then again we're seeing a bit of a fall coming in. Bank of Maharashtra also in focus on the back of its numbers. Let's move on, and Reliance Retail is betting big on its value fashion business, Yosta. Now, this brand, which competes directly with the likes of Trends Zudio, is drawing up aggressive expansion plans. CNBC-TV18's Shilpa Ranipeta reports that expanding store count to 1,000 is just the beginning of these plans. Take a look.
This is Yosta, Reliance Retail's value fashion format where everything is priced below 999 rupees. Launched in August last year, Yosta competes directly with Trends Zudio and Shoppers Stop's Intune. The competition in the space is intense, and Reliance Retail is devoting all available resources to expand Yosta, starting with the store count. At present, it says it's opening a new store every few days.
Our ambition is all markets. We have a network in this company which extends to every market. We have teams which are scouring the market and are trying to find us properties. We are opening stores very fast. So if I give you a number, I might be maybe 2 stores have opened in that time somewhere else in the country. But yes, we will look at opening stores every few days. All I will say is that it will be in thousands, not in hundreds. We don't talk beyond 2 years.
Thousands is a big number considering Yosta currently has a little over 55 stores in 27 cities in India. Its competitor Zudio, meanwhile, already had 559 stores as of June 30, 2024. Intune had 31 and Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Style Up had 30. But store count is just one step in Yosta's aggressive plans where incumbents already have a foothold. So expanding its product portfolio beyond apparel into segments like cosmetics and accessories is also on the cards.
Our competition may have been in the market longer than us, but we intend to move into all these categories. Some accessories you will already see in our store. Footwear has also been introduced to our store, and very soon you will start seeing the categories you talked about like beauty and other products in the similar genre. Every muscle of the fabric of the fashion lifestyle division will be devoted to this format, from getting design inputs from the global space.
With Zudio and Intune 2 aggressively opening stores, competition is intense in India's value retail space. But Yosta says it will leverage Reliance Retail's design, manufacturing and network capabilities to make its mark in the space. In Mumbai, Shilpa Ranipeta.
Okay, on that note, it's time for a short break. But on the other side, we'll give you the updates on India's diplomatic spat with Canada. So stay tuned in. Welcome back. You're tuned into Business Lunch on CNBC TV18. Let's discuss the relations between India and Canada that are possibly at the worst point in history. This after India expelled 6 Canadian diplomats after Canada said that the Indian ambassador to Canada and 5 other diplomats were persons of interest in the probe related to the murder of the Canadian national and pro-Khalistan activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. India has rejected all allegations as ludicrous and baseless and replied with a strongly worded statement saying Canada is including in vote bank politics and is trying to appease pro-Khalistan groups in the country. Following this, India announced the withdrawal of its High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats from Canada and has expelled 6 Canadian diplomats, marking a significant escalation in the diplomatic tensions. Let's move on. And the Indian Gaming Convention 2024 was held yesterday, bringing together key stakeholders from the gaming sector. At the event, CNBC's Ashmit Kumar caught up with Secretary from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Sanjay Jaju, I beg your pardon, who shared some valuable insights into the growth of the sector and India's role on global stage and the ministry's initiatives to develop skill, talent and boost gaming industry. Listen in.
So the media and entertainment industry is one of our important pillars in our economic landscape. And from the current 2% in the global world space, we want to take it to 4%, which means that we need to become a $100 billion industry in 5 years. And that's a huge ambition and a huge vision. AVGC XR plays a huge role in this entire segment. 1/4 of this entire vision is going to come in from the AVGC XR segment. A lot of steps are being taken.
Okay, that's all the time we have on this edition of Business Lunch. Thanks for tuning in. Mid Cap Radar up next.